The masses are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we can keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the high level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. This shit is over.
I am inevitable.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are live in full effect. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We are live. All right, y'all. Come on in. We got to get into it. So we got more
to get into this.
We got some more
Epstein shit
developments on the Epstein. You know, they got Pam Bondi on the chopping block up there at the White House committee. So we got to get into it. We gotta get into it. And yeah, she's supposed to, she got the deposition going on. So it's not a open deposition, it's a closed door.
Closed one, yeah.
But we know what they do. They release the video after the deposition. So right now we just gonna cover, right now with the victim speaking out at the at the deposition.
It's closed just in case.
Yeah.
It's closed just in case if she says something out of pocket. And they can just edit it out before they release anything else.
All right. I mean, I don't even know if they edit anything out of Hillary and Billary.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's
you don't
true.
know. I don't. Yeah, you don't know if they edit things out. You really don't know when they re-release those depositions to the public after they're being closed. You don't know if they edit stuff out. You really don't.
So we have the victim speaking out outside of the outside of the courtroom or whatever. They I feel like they didn't get they just due far as with they didn't get no justice, and they didn't get no get no deposition. They wasn't able to tell a story in front of the committee as well, just like they did with Hillary and Billary and Lex Wexner and the rest of these characters. So then you got Bill Gates coming up, I think on June the 7th. His deposition coming up. So y'all know we're gonna cover Mr. Bill Gates.
What is the point of these depositions? Because they don't accomplish nothing.
Smoke screens, bro. Smoke screens. Because they covering up the files. Pam Bondi was asked about the client list. She said she had it on her desk. They didn't review it. When she reviewed it, she found out Trump was in there, and she had to do whatever she had to do to basically get the files redacted. Basically, Trump ordered the redaction of the files to protect him and the people that he deal with. People that's in position right now is in those files, but it was all redacted. So he was cool with the files being put out there until he found out he was on there. He was in there a bunch of times, and then that's when the redaction happened. So let's go ahead and get into. Pull this up. All right, so this is MS Now reporting on Pam Bondi.
Former
Let's get
Attorney
into
General
it.
Pam Bondi set to give closed-door testimony this morning over her handling of the federal government's investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his former girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. As head of the DOJ, Bondi faced heavy criticism over the release of millions of documents pertaining to Epstein, some that actually revealed personal information and images of abuse survivors that should have been redacted. The committee voted back in March to subpoena Bondi, with lawmakers telling the AG she possessed valuable insight into the agency's release of the files. Who better than her? When she declined to appear for an April 14th deposition, though, Democrats on the committee filed contempt charges, arguing she was obligated to testify despite President Trump ousting her from her role earlier that month. Lawmakers say they'll ask Bondi about what decisions prosecutors made about investigating Epstein's associates, how the DOJ handled the congressional mandate to release those files, and whether the president himself was involved in that process at all. I want to bring in Democratic Congressman James Walkinshaw of Virginia. He's a member of the House Oversight Committee. He'll be with Bondi later today. There's a lot of directions that this could go, and I wonder for you what the top question or questions you have for the former Attorney General are?
Well, I want to understand why they didn't follow the law. They didn't release the files on time. They didn't release all the files. Still haven't. They illegally redacted files, including files embarrassing to Donald Trump. Why did they do that? What conversations took place between Pam Bondi and President Boer, folks at the White House, about those decisions? And why was Ghislaine Maxwell transferred to a low security, cushy prison camp after her conversation with Todd Blanche? So those are just a few of the questions that I want answers to. We're going to try to get those answers today.
And I think we should also point out that this is someone who, in bipartisan fashion, people on the Oversight Committee wanted to speak to. So this is not going to be, though it will be friendly from some Republicans, not necessarily across the board. And I think that will potentially breed some interesting moments. We expect that we're going to see a transcript of this at some point. So we'll have some insight, but it's not on video. That makes it different, for example, than the way the Clintons were interviewed. And you can argue about who has more insight here, but the head of the DOJ was the person who was in charge of DOJ releasing these documents in the first place. So for folks who are wondering, hey, why am I not seeing this on camera? Can you just remind us how we got to this place?
Well, it's all part of the cover-up, unfortunately. And we see Republicans in Congress, including our chairman, James Comer, facilitating that cover-up. The American people deserve to see Pam Bondi on video, just like they saw Bill and Hillary Clinton on video. And as we discussed before, Hillary Clinton didn't have anything to do with the Epstein files or the crimes that were committed.
I want to stop you there, buddy. I want to stop you there by saying that, man, they all was involved, buddy. If Bill was involved, she was involved because they knew who Epstein and Ghislaine was. They knew what they was into, and her husband was involved. So I want to stop you there, buddy, just to say that Hillary get off scot-free. No. We ain't doing that.
Hillary had her own thing going on over there at Podesta's Pizza and the Pizzagate. You realize Bill wasn't really tied to the Pizzagate stuff. It was more so Hillary, but Bill was tied to the Epstein stuff. So it's like they was off doing their own thing. They both corrupt as hell. It's just they was both doing their own things, earning, and then bringing it back to the pot for the Clinton family because they always into some shady shit. So. Yeah, you can't necessarily say that, she wasn't tied up with Epstein. There's no proof of that, but we don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying?
We're not, right.
We don't know for sure.
She not getting, skating off scot-free like that. No, we ain't doing that. But we know Trump definitely was in them files a lot of times, and they redacted the hell out of those files. But we're going to let's hear from the victims, because you don't hear from the victims much. Like the victims that is not given a platform to really, testify on, Epstein, their encounters with Epstein and Ghislaine. They're not given any type of no type of platform at all.
And don't forget that a lot of the victims were unalive too.
Yeah,
let's not forget that.
And I'm sure
some died mysteriously, and some you never even knew they were victims because they unalived them, like them two bodies that was dug up at Epstein's ranch.
Right. I'm sure some of these victims can attest to some of the things they witnessed, and some of the people that might have came up missing. But they're basically being ignored basically because of the cover up. But yeah, these victims deserve justice. They do. Out of anything, the victims definitely deserve justice. So, the victims are speaking outside of the deposition. They all gathered in the hallway. Media is giving them some sort of attention, but they really need a real deposition to really sit down and tell their full, about their full encounters dealing with Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? But all right, let's get into this. This is Forbes side of things that's covering this with the survivors. So let's get into this, man.
We finally get closer to the truth, to some transparency, so that ultimately we can get to accountability.
I hear a little emotion.
There's emotion and a little bit of sickness in my voice. But yeah, it's been a really emotional last year with these survivors. They've fought hard, they've fought tirelessly, and truthfully, we are all exhausted. We're tired of coming up here, we're tired of trying to get to the truth. We feel like the federal government should do their job and get these women the justice that they've deserved.
What would accountability look like today?
I mean, there are a lot of, thank you. There are a lot of leads that exist in the files. They're there in black and white, and the government, DOJ, needs to start looking in the files, start to examine, interview, and ultimately start investigations that hold the numerous people in the files accountable.
If there was any cover-up within the DOJ that Pam Bondi knew about, what do you have to say about that?
It all needs to come out. Cover up, no cover up, we don't know, but we just want the truth. And the survivors deserve the truth.
That's what we're for.
So this is my thing, real quick. Hold on. So this is my thing. We sitting back waiting for the federal government to give for justice, to give these victims justice. But what happens when a lot of the people who's supposed to be giving them justice are in the files themselves? Like, how are you ever going to get justice when the people who's supposed to be getting justice for them is also in the files doing some shady stuff?
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna basically imprison themselves so the victims could get justice. These are criminals we talking about. Like, until we realize that our federal government is corrupt, and a lot of them are in the files doing some shady stuff with Epstein. There's a lot of people. I mean, our president is in the files.
Well, there, yeah.
I mean,
right.
like, come on. And look who's close to the president, Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche was his attorney for years. And you see, Todd Blanche is part of the cover-up.
This is one big cover-up. This is
one big cover-up.
I think this is like I think this is the biggest cover-up in American history. Period.
It is the biggest cover-up in American history
because this is involving a lot of industries that's involved with this.
And a lot of politicians and a lot of world leaders.
Yeah, world leaders, banking industry, corporations, entertainment, where all that is involved with this. It's like one of the biggest cover-ups in American history.
The biggest cover-ups, and people are not mad enough. People are not mad enough. And we sitting on our asses waiting for the federal government to handle this, and the federal government is in the files.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen.
Trump knew what Epstein was up to. And if Trump knew what Epstein was up to, I bet you Todd Blanche knew what Epstein was up to too.
Yeah.
And it's funny how Trump got rid of Pam Bondi so fast and replaced her with Todd Blanche. And all of a sudden, Todd Blanche just closed all the investigation on the Epstein files. And he was able to bully the IRS with Trump, so Trump won't never get audited. So that goes to show they're crooked. Todd Blanche and Donald Trump are crooked. They covering up the Epstein stuff, and they bullying parts of the government to try to basically bully money out of them, and bully basically to have to be basically above the law, so they don't never get audited. They don't never have to pay taxes or anything. That's clear corruption. That's clear corruption right there.
And the thing is,
you still got MAGA-tards out here, bro. You still got people celebrating MAGA.
He's corrupted on all types of levels too.
All type inside trading.
It's a lot of moving parts when it comes to this corruption with.
Trump is very corrupt, bro. I mean, Biden was corrupt too.
Yeah,
I think and Hunter Biden, they was corrupt as hell.
Yeah,
the Clintons were corrupt as hell. Obama was corrupt as hell. What the hell happened to Obama's chef? He witnessed something. Next thing you know, he was floating in a river somewhere.
Yep.
So all these presidents,
and then
the Bushes, you don't even talk about the Bushes.
He ended up drowning in a pool.
All these presidents are corrupt. and Trump is in there taking the cake. Trump is like blatant with his corruption, bullying the IRS so he don't have to pay taxes and get audited. All the inside trading that he's doing in the open, he's doing inside trading in the open, bro. He don't even give a shit. Like, and he's clearly in the Epstein files more. His name is in the Epstein files more than anybody's. And then there's clear evidence that Trump was directly connected to Epstein. And all of a sudden, Todd Blanche talked to Ghislaine Maxwell, and all of a sudden she get moved to a better prison, living more comfortably, and she might be getting out still.
If they
and
let
they
her
trying
out,
to work out a deal to get
if
her
they let
out,
her
and then you
out.
got Palm Beach Pete running around. And we know that's Epstein. You got Palm Beach Pete running
Palm
around,
Beach
bro.
Epstein.
You got Palm Beach Pete running around. And it's
Palm Beach
clearly Epstein. Clearly Epstein out in the open.
You
And
mean
he's talking
Palm
about running
Beach
for mayor,
Epstein.
bro.
You
He's
mean
talking about running for mayor.
You mean Palm Beach Peachstein.
Do y'all understand how crazy this is? And we just sitting back allowing this to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, because ain't nobody care about this shit.
I don't care. Americans, we cowards.
Yeah, nobody.
Americans are cowards, bro. I don't even care what nobody say. American citizens are the biggest cowards.
We ain't doing nothing
right
we ain't
now.
doing shit about them poisoning us, so we know they ain't doing shit about this. Like that's directly infecting us on a daily
And them
basis.
fucking idiots are poisoning themselves.
Yeah, so they don't.
Shit,
They don't
Pam
give a shit
Bondi.
about
Oh yeah, speak about that. Why did Pam Bondi have to leave office? What's one of the reasons?
Pull this up.
One of the
Let me pull
reasons.
this up.
Yeah.
Let me see that. Let me pull this up real quick.
One of
Pam
the
Bondi.
reasons why Pam Bondi. I mean, that's not the full reason, because we know Trump put the pressure on her to step down because he wanted Todd Blanche in that seat, so him and Todd Blanche could go bully the IRS. So we already know that too. Damn, this shit is corrupt. Woo! It just hit me even harder just now. Woo! This is corrupt. Damn! Damn!
All right, former Pam Bondi treated for so she was treated for thyroid cancer. Yeah, it's not necessarily why she stepped down from Attorney General.
That's what they trying to claim.
Yeah, it just says former Pam Bondi, Attorney General was all right. Man, what the hell is this popping
She
up?
got thyroid cancer because we're all being poisoned. They allow Pam Bondi, y'all allowing all the poison in our food, in our air.
But she good though. But she good though. That's why she able to testify today. Hold on. So Pam Bondi was diagnosed with thyroid cancer after leaving the Justice Department in April. She said Blondie said she's undergoing treatment, including surgery a few weeks ago. Bondi tells CNN she's still recovering, doing well. Yeah, it ain't nothing. It ain't
she
nothing
got
that
cancer.
serious.
Yeah, but let's make the point. She got cancer because she's allowing all the poison into our environment. The Attorney General should be stepping in. She should, as Attorney General, she should have stepped in and canceled out Bayer and Monsanto for being able to spray glyphosate all over our crops here in America, which is actually poisoning all of our farmland, poisoning our water supply, and poisoning our air. They banned glyphosate in every other country. They banned glyphosate because it was known carcinogenic that causes cancer, and they allowing them to spray our crops heavily with glyphosate.
Yeah. I won't get off too far off topic. That's because we got to get back into the
I just had to bring that up real quick because I just had to bring that up real quick because it just goes to show you that they not exempt from their own corruption, that they get affected by their own corruption also.
Right. Yeah, but in fact, Donald Trump did fire Pam Bondi just to put Todd Blanche, his attorney, in place and in position, to keep the cover up going. That's pretty much
That's the real deal. Yeah. She ain't stepped down because of cancer. She stepped down because Trump bullied her behind the scenes so he could get Todd Blanche in her chair so they could bully the IRS together and close the Epstein stuff out for good.
Facts. And that's a fact. That's not made up shit. That's a fact.
Nigga, the day Todd Blanche got in office, the same day he came out and said the Epstein investigation is shut down. He said the United States government will no longer investigate the Epstein files. The first day he stepped into office as Attorney General after Pam Bondi stepped down. That goes to show you the corruption right there. Shit, he probably found some shit in the files about himself. Being Trump's attorney all these years. He was Trump's attorney way back. When Trump was dealing with Epstein. So that goes to show he could have been doing some shit too.
Yeah. This definitely one big cover up.
Yeah, this is a big cover up.
This is a big ass cover up.
Where the MAGA-tards at? Where the people who still celebrating MAGA? Where y'all MAGA-tards at? We told y'all years ago that Trump was corrupt and we wasn't voting for nobody. Right. We wouldn't F with no Kamala, no Biden, no Trump, nobody. We know they all corrupt. We was telling y'all years ago that don't ever vote for
even if you got a president that have good intentions of going in there like a JFK, once they get in there, see it's a certain level of information that you have after you get in office. You know, it's not revealed to you until you actually get elected and sit in that seat. Then they bring all this other extra information in, but you don't get that. You're not privy to that information until you actually sit in that seat. So you know what I mean?
Yo, Martin, that's funny as hell. He said all the MAGA-tards is on the Q Reddit. Yeah, they still believe in that Q shit.
They on the Reddit shit.
They think that Trump is in office to drain the swamp when he's actually Swamp Thing. Yo, the swamp is right in our faces. The Epstein shit is the swamp. And Trump ain't draining nothing. Trump never drained the swamp. Q-tards. Those of y'all who believe in the Q movement, Trump ain't draining no swamp. He is Swamp Thing.
Yeah. But if y'all ain't hit that like button yet, definitely hit the like button and share this.
They say he's playing 4D chess. That's what Q-tards say.
Yeah.
People who believe in the Q movement, they say, "Oh, Trump is making himself look like the bad guy because he's playing 4D chess. Oh, he's playing 4D chess. That's why he just bullied the IRS, tried to sue them for $10 billion, which is taxpayers' money. He tried to sue them for $10 billion, and he bullied them into not being able to audit him or his family or his businesses. Yeah, that really do sound like 4D chess for him. Not for American citizens. He's playing 4D chess for himself and his family. And that's it. MAGA-tards.
Yeah, they recently dismissed that IRS lawsuit though. So he ain't win that.
He won anyway. They worked the deal out. Instead of him getting the $10 billion, instead he said, "Well, just make sure you don't audit me and my family or my business forever."
Yeah,
that's worth more than $10 billion because you gotta think about it. All the inside trading and shit he's doing, he already made $10 billion. He made $10 billion off the tariffs, the inside trading, and a rug pull he did in the crypto market. So he already made $10 billion, and he can't even be investigated for none of that.
Right. Man, they be getting figuring them loopholes out. Shit, they don't even be figuring them out. They's giving the loopholes.
That was a chess move. Him taking Pam Bondi out of Attorney General seat and putting Todd Blanche in there, his right hand man. That was a chess move right there. So yeah, y'all right. He is playing 4D chess. He is playing chess. He put the guy in office that he knew would be able to shut the Epstein stuff down and help him bully the IRS. So yeah, you're right. Todd Blanche is a 4D chess move.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Q-tards.
Yeah, definitely a 4D chess move, definitely. Yeah,
ballroom, right? The ballroom is part of the 4D chess move too, because it's not really a ballroom. It's really
in the war, in the Iran war.
Show. Yup, in the Iran war.
Yeah, the war. Yeah, because we know that come on now. You can see the move. You can see the plays being played out right in front of us. All you have to do is connect the dots.
Somebody want to know if we have any smoke for crooked Joe Biden. Hell yeah! We bid on.
Oh, you ain't even here.
You must be new to this channel.
You must came in here late. Yeah, we already. Yeah. bro, we don't trust no politician, period. Nobody
Yeah,
that's sitting in
Biden
that
is
Oval
no better.
Office.
Hell nah. Biden and Hunter was crooked as hell. Hunter was smoking crack on camera, y'all. They found crack cocaine in the White House. And this man was smoking crack and weighing crack and beating up women on camera. And Joe and got caught with guns. And they actually gave him a pardon. His dad gave him a pardon.
Man, listen, that was elder abuse to put a man in there in office that wasn't even in his right mind. Even if that was even him,
All these
that could have been a
motherfuckers are corrupt.
goddamn Jim Carrey character put in a Joe Biden mask. Who knows?
Facts.
I mean, I don't listen. We
Facts.
don't trust nothing coming out of that Oval Office.
And Creepy Joe was filling up on little kids right on camera.
He damn sure was. They
He,
shaved my legs, and what he's talking about? Something about they rub on my
oh,
legs,
they
and
play. Yeah, he like when he goes to the pool with the little kids and all the kids
they
play
rub.
with his
Yeah,
legs.
they said rub on my legs and all
Yup,
this weird shit.
play and
Like,
rub on my legs with and lick chocolate chip ice cream off my legs and shit. Like yeah,
yeah,
freaky creepy Joe was no better.
yeah, we don't mess
Yeah,
with no
they
goddamn.
all get smoked.
We don't mess with no goofy ass Kamala up there giggling
And
all
Barry
goddamn day.
Sortoro.
We
Barry
don't fuck with Barry
Sortoro.
Santoro, CIA
Yep.
granddaddy, or
Yep.
CIA granddaddy. We don't mess with none of that shit. We don't mess
None of
with
the
goddamn
Clinton mafia.
Clinton. Nope.
Yep, the Clinton cartel. Nope. Podesta Pizza and Pizzagate. And
George
Bill Clinton
Bush,
with his
the Bushes
Epstein.
and all that fake ass shit they was doing.
Oh, the Bushes, they just as
Right.
bad hiding all that Nazi money. Granddaddy Bush hiding all that Nazi money and then invading Iraq, claiming they got weapons of mass destruction so they could go over there and take over the oil. Because they focused on their oil shares.
I mean,
Yeah,
only
it's
president,
corruption.
even though he's still tied to a lot of families and shit like that, but the only ones we really give at least a pass is JFK. That's it. JFK tried to do more about getting rid of the alphabets.
Reagan did too until they put
Reagan.
a bullet.
Yeah,
Don't
Reagan
forget,
did
they
try to.
spooked the hell out of Reagan.
Yeah, but then they told him, you gotta let the cocaine come in because we got a new epidemic to take
Right.
over. We have a new epidemic to take over, and pretty much destroy the black community. Yeah, you gotta allow this to come through.
Yeah, Reagan wasn't behind the
Yeah.
corruption in the Reagan era. It was
No.
his VP that was
Yeah,
behind
Bush.
the corruption.
Yeah,
Because Bush was
Bush.
really running that shit. Reagan
Yeah,
wasn't running
Bush.
nothing. Reagan wasn't running nothing in the 80s. It was Bush that was running shit.
Yeah, Bush.
That was
You're right.
Bush's Oval Office, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
all corrupt. They all corrupt. We're not letting nobody slide. They all corrupt. They all corrupt.
there's nothing beneficial to the people by these people being in office. It really isn't. As much
Oh,
as you
we don't
want
even want to talk
to, much
about
as you want to go
Congress
out there, yeah, much
and the
as you want to
Supreme
go out
Court.
there and
Those vampires.
vote for your favorite politician that they put in front of you, that they present to you, to make it look like you got choices by going into a voting booth. You really don't have no choices. These people are put in position. Corporations put people in position, to push
Mhm.
paperwork. Their whole job is to be put in there and push paperwork through, to allow them, to poison us through the the EPA and the FDA, and they just allow so much to get passed that doesn't benefit the people at all. I mean, they up there approving all types of shit that's coming across their desk. Long as that check is in, long as them numbers is in their bank account, they passing off on all. They just signing off on all types of shit up there.
Somebody said, who owns the corporations? The black nobility, Rothschild,
It's
Rockefellers, the
so
Medici family,
yeah, they own them through the BlackRock, State
colonial
Street, and
families. Yep.
and then Vanguard. Now BlackRock top accounts is all tech companies. That's the biggest accounts right now. They top 10 biggest accounts right now is tech companies: Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, um, Apple, Meta. That's all their top accounts right now. So they're going full fledged with the artificial intelligence. Yeah, they're not slowing down. Yeah, all the money is in artificial
The
intelligence.
Orsini family, the
Yeah,
Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Orsini, the Colonel family, the Medici family, the J.P. Morgans. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's who own this shit. That's who own these corporations. And these guys like Bill Gates and George Soros, these are just
yeah,
faces. They're the faces.
yeah. Jeff Bezos and all,
Yeah,
and
Jeff
Elon
Bezos,
Musk.
the Elon Musk, they just
Yeah,
moving money around. They just moving money around for the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. That's it. They just moving their money around.
you said, can we compile a list and make it go viral? Shit, it's already out there. A lot of people talk. A lot of it's not. I wouldn't say a mass amount of people talking about it, but it's a lot. It's a lot being passed around. You know, yeah.
Yep, the DuPonts, the Carnegies. Yeah,
I
all
think it
these,
should
the
be talked to.
Warburgs.
Right. Yeah, it's being talked about.
Yeah, we know the names. It's the black nobility. A lot of this shit's coming from Rome. The families that choose who's going to be the next pope.
Or the next president.
And then the royals, then the royal families, the Windsor household, and all of them. Yeah, those are the ones who own all these corporations. People like George Soros and Bill Gates and Elon Musk and who's the big dude that just died? He said "Y'all useless eaters." What's the dude name? He was Henry Kissinger. All of
Henry
them work
Kissinger.
for all these
Yeah.
individuals work for these people.
David
They were just
Rockefeller. Well, he
they
dead
were
now.
just
So
they just worked for these individuals. That's it. They move the money around. But when you really do the research and who owns all these corporations that rule the world, it's the same names. It's been the same people since the Renaissance in the 17 and 1800s. It's been the same people all these years.
yeah, the list shit. Daughter of. Yeah, all you gotta do is go to Google and put the list in. Uh, the black nobility family. Who are the black nobility families? The old list to come up and tell you who they
Yeah, the
are, what
black
they own.
nobility.
Yeah,
Right.
who they are, what they own, who everything. Yeah,
Yeah, they own those are their corporations. Bank of America, JP Morgan
yeah.
Chase, what was that? Royal Dutch Shell and all them motherfuckers. All them, they're all
All
owned by
all the major
these
corporations is owned
families.
by the yeah, and these is like just shell companies basically, like because there's like bigger companies that own these smaller corporations. So,
Right.
but their money, like we said, Epstein was one of their Rockefeller's representatives that actually moved money around. He was
He said
he was
that
the
out his own
yeah, he
mouth
was the
at the
person that moved.
Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, he moved money around for the Rockefellers. So you got to realize they bring these people in like Epstein, these so-called mathematicians or whatever, to kind of calculate what's going to be the outcome when they put money into certain things, right? So his objective is not just to blackmail, catch people in compromising positions, top level people, but he also moved money around. I mean, you seen him move. It came out that he moved money around for Bitcoin to into the Bitcoin. He moved
Mm-hmm.
money around into the COVID
Mm-hmm.
situation. Like, yeah, he was the guy moving money around for
And
these
moving
individuals.
bodies around.
Well, yeah,
And moving bodies around. Human
yeah, that's the
trafficking.
yeah, that's the pleasure. That's the pleasure that they into.
Moving money around and moving bodies around. That's what Epstein's job was. And acting like he's the money man when really he was just a representative of the Rockefellers. Which he said out of his own mouth. He
Yeah, right.
literally said he worked for the Rockefeller family and they hired him and that he was a big part of the Trilateral Commission. And if y'all look up what the Trilateral Commission is, that's when all the most powerful people in the world meet together to make decisions of what direction the world is going to go in. The Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission and what was the other one?
CFR, Council on
Yeah,
Foreign Relations.
Council on Foreign Relations. Those are the 3 big meetings that they do that decides all the plans for the world for the future. And this stuff is not even hidden. This is documented. They don't even deny it. They don't deny it. You could shit. They got websites. The Council on Foreign Relations got a website. CFR.
Don't leave out the committee of 300 too. Don't remember the committee of 300 as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of groups that secretly meet. You know, Bohemian Grove is just like their pleasure playground.
Yeah, that's their playground. That's
And,
where
you
they
know,
do their rituals and shit
the
at is
rituals, and
Bohemian Grove.
they bring in they sex you know, they male sex trap escorts, and you know
And hunting parties.
yeah, and, you know, they mess with little girls, little boys and shit like that. That's the old pleasure island right there. It's Bohemian Grove. Yeah, these people are wicked, man. And that right now, this whole Epstein cover up is the individuals that we are talking about are the people that's part of that whole Epstein world.
I bet you Epstein was definitely at Bohemian Grove.
I know, right?
You know he was at Bohemian Grove. You know he had him. Yeah, you know he had to pay a visit to Bohemian Grove. He looked like a Bohemian Grove ass nigga.
Right. Bohemian.
He looks like Bohemian Grove. Epstein looks like Palm Beach. My bad. Palm Beach Pete now.
No, Palm Beach Peachstein.
Looks exactly like Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, so yeah, Epstein. Even if he wasn't there, shit, he know everybody that was there. But remember, he had his own thing going on though.
Bro, I think he helped organize shit like Bohemian Grove. You gotta
Yeah,
think
remember he
about
had
it.
his own shit.
A lot of
No, I
people
think
who was at Bohemian Grove were from the Trilateral Commission and the Council on Foreign Relations. You gotta remember, he was a big part of getting everybody together for the Trilateral Commission meetings. And after that, they blow some steam off at Bohemian Grove. You gotta think about it. He had to be behind that shit. He had to be.
Well, nah, Bohemian Grove goes back before Epstein, so that's way before his time, even
Yeah,
before
but
he
they
was
get
born.
people. Yeah, I understand that. Of
Yeah.
course, most of that shit, all that shit went. All you gotta think about,
So
all that shit went on before Epstein. But he was hired to do a job, though.
yeah,
You
it's
gotta think about it. Just cause the company existed before a person started working for it, don't mean that when a person starts
yeah,
working
people
for the
take
company
position.
that
Yeah,
he's
right.
not. Yeah,
Yeah, they just move the next person in position.
yeah,
Right, right,
yeah.
right.
To handle, yeah, to organize shit. Like, think about it. That's the type of stuff that him and Ghislaine did.
Yeah, they said shit. Bohemian Grove been active since 145 years. Since they said since 1878. Yeah, nah, 1872. The Bohemian Grove established in San Francisco in 1872. Yeah, so they probably, yeah, you probably right. They probably had a lot of people that come along and you know, take that position to you know, to organize what's going to be part of the event that they do whatever time they meet or whatever. With you know they got different shit that be set up there with the whole Moloch owl or whatever the fuck that is. They be worshiping and sacrificing in
And
front
that's
of.
only one. That's only one of the rituals. They do
Right.
plenty of rituals from every different type of culture. Because you gotta think about it. These people that rule
Yeah,
the world is from different cultural background, different
I
pagan
think
cultural backgrounds.
I think it's called like the cremation of care or some shit like that. I think that's what the that ritual is. Right. Remember, we ain't really have no you know, no imagery of that until Alex Jones snuck his big pumpkin head ass in there and you know, and basically recorded their rituals and shit.
His big pumpkin.
Recorded one of their rituals. Like that was like the first, you know, imagery as far as on video that we ever got was when he, went in there and, crashed the Bohemian Grove and shit. You said it's called
Hydra.
Hydra.
Yeah, they is on some Hydra shit. They like to use the octopus as a logo because all the tentacles is the octopus covering the globe, showing how their hands, how their tentacles is basically controlling the world. That's the the philosophical meaning of Hydra. You cut off one tentacle and another one grows in its place. And basically is the octopus covering up the whole entire world. And Marvel stole that concept from the actual organization that's like Hydra. A lot of the shit that's in Marvel is, a lot of the organizations and shit. That's why, like, the Captain America and stuff, they
Yeah,
showed the Nazis and all that type of stuff because they're just showing us what they do.
they
They
stole a lot of
showing us what they
ancient.
do.
They stole a lot of ancient Kemet shit too. Marvel. A lot of that shit is implemented into into the Marvel universe and shit.
Right, Martine, codes and pop culture. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people, y'all start looking into it. A lot of people who, new listeners or whatever, y'all start looking into that. They love bragging about what they do through pop culture and movies and TV series and cartoons. That's they love thing. Just bragging about what they do and then presenting it as entertainment to us, to the masses, to the slaves. Bragging in our faces about what they do to us. They love that shit. They love it. And they just laugh at us. They got videos of all of us just sitting around laughing at our misfortunes that they create. They, making little bets on some rat race type of shit with us or Hunger Games, Squid Games. They love just sitting back because they bored. These are bored people who've been ruling the world for hundreds of years, possibly thousands of years. Basically hoarding all the resources and divvying it out
Yep,
to the
passed
people
down
they
through
feel.
bloodlines.
Yep,
Yep.
passed down through
And
bloodlines
they and
like
then
the
the
movie
thing,
The Underworld.
yeah, and the thing is they keep their bloodline consistent. Like they don't really they make sure they keep their bloodline consistent so it'll be easier to track who's who. So yeah, you might have cousins that sleep together just to keep the bloodline consistent. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah. And then when you find out most of all these presidents is related to a lot of these bloodlines and shit, that's
Yeah,
when
they
you
do a
really be
lot of
like,
inbreeding. Yeah, they do a lot of
yeah,
inbreeding.
yeah,
Yeah, they do a lot of inbreeding to keep the wealth and the secrets in the family.
yep. That's when
And they create magical, they call them magical children or something like that, where they do rituals and then they get pregnant and the baby that they have, they put them in certain positions to do certain rituals for the next generations. They
right.
do that type shit too. Like they do all types of shit to maintain power. They do all types of rituals, everything, sacrifices. They do all types of stuff to keep their power structure in place.
Yes, indeed. All right, let me play this right quick.
What's your name?
Marina Lacerda, minor victim one.
So, what are you hoping from Saturday?
Well, we all hope that today Pam Bondi will be as clear as possible and hopefully bring accountability to the table. And, we just hope that she is here to, make some sense out of everything, because the last time we were here, there was a lot of lashing, there was a lot of dehumanizing the survivors. So we hope that she finds it in her heart to speak the truth today.
What would accountability look like?
Accountability will look like when all the perpetrators are brought to justice, and we have people actually, being, under oath. Right now we are really looking for some truth here. That's what we're looking for.
If the DOJ allegedly covered things up, to help out the president, how do you feel about that?
I'm sorry.
What's on your heart right now?
In my heart right now, it's really, accountability is kind of hard right now, but we are looking for, saving the next generation, bringing awareness. I think that's what justice looks like for us right now, is bringing this to the people that aren't aware of this crimes that have been going on with other, very important, famous, rich people's names. We have to bring this to American people. We have to be aware that no matter how rich, how famous you are, you have to, serve your time. You have your day in court, just like anybody else.
Do you think Pam Bondi knows things right now that the public doesn't know?
I think so. I think she knows way more than what we think. And I think it's time for her to come out and just be honest about everything that she knows and stop protecting the people that she's protecting.
Will it say anything to any other survivors that may be out there?
I always
What do you want the world to know?
I always encourage any survivor, not just of Jeffrey Epstein, to always speak up and never forget, if you don't speak up, the perpetrator will not stop. So it's very important to speak about your story and to never be silent. So just remember, every story, every abuse does matter.
What didn't I ask you?
I don't know.
Anything else you want to say?
Huh?
Anything else you want to say?
We just really hope that today will be different than the last time that we came. We hope that she finds it in her heart to be completely honest, and that's all we're asking for. Thank you.
You guys, come over. You guys, come over. I think you should do the camera together, and we'll move out of the shot. Okay. I think you should do it together. Come closer. Are you comfortable or no? Together. Okay, let's get everybody together. Talking?
What does your shirt say?
They say truth, redaction. Epstein survivors are still waiting. Release the files.
Anybody want to say anything else? I've been talking to a couple of
Do you want to talk? What would you like us to say?
I want to know what's on your heart.
Well, we're hoping for truth. We're hoping for truth and transparency, and we are here to get to the bottom of this.
Do you think Pam Bondi knows things that the public doesn't know right now?
I think Pam Bondi knows a lot of things that the public doesn't know. And that's the reason why she couldn't turn around to us and acknowledge that we were there the last time. But we are here this time. And we hope that we're going to get some answers. But if we don't, we are going to stay here until we do.
What does accountability look like today?
Accountability looks like the truth and transparency.
And what is the truth?
The truth is that there are a lot of investigative leads. There's so many things in the files that need to be investigated, financial, institutional, literally everything. There are investigative leads in the files, and we need to start investigating.
And privilege is protecting people who shouldn't be protected. Is that? Tell me in your own words.
Yeah, we definitely feel like privilege is being protected right now, and that survivors matter, our voices matter, and what happened to us matters. We matter. And so does the American public, and the American public deserves to know the truth.
What's on your heart?
What's on my heart? It's a heavy day. Last time she didn't even acknowledge us, so we're hoping that maybe she could provide some answers in that room, but she likes to deflect a lot. So if we can't get any answers and we get more deflections, then we will get to the bottom of it.
Are you hoping that she's going to be more transparent given that she's left the Justice Department on what happened with the handling of the Epstein files?
I'm hoping that she will be more transparent. We are hoping for answers today, but with the way that she acted in the past, my hope is very low, but we're hoping to get to the truth. The American public deserves the truth.
What's your name for the record?
I'm Charlene Rochard.
Yeah, I think we're really hopeful that she's not going to talk about the Dow today. We hope that there's no deflection. To Charlene's point, I think this case has always been about more than Epstein and Maxwell survivors. And we don't want to send a chilling effect that survivors can't come forward. And so far, the DOJ has done everything they possibly can to intimidate survivors. And so we hope we should have reckoning. There is some transparency. There were Jane Does in these files who were mentioned over 500 times. That's so unacceptable. Nude photos, the photos, you'll hear us talk about that a lot today. That these are moments, they basically distributed porn. Our government distributed porn. And it's unacceptable. So I just hope that she does have a moment where she remembers her own humanity and our humanity and finds her compassion and remembers that this is a bigger story than political rhetoric.
Hi.
What's on your heart?
What's on my heart is how important this fight is. I'm thinking today not just about us as Epstein survivors, but I'm thinking about all Americans who are watching how the Department of Justice is handling the investigation of these crimes, or the lack of investigation of these crimes. I think that as citizens, we have a reasonable expectation that the Department of Justice is going to prosecute crimes and hold perpetrators of these crimes accountable, and we're not seeing that here. And I think that that's really concerning for everyone in our country. Why is our current Department of Justice not following the investigative leads that we're seeing all over the Epstein files? To hear Todd Blanche publicly say that there's nothing in the files worth investigating, there are no more investigative leads, it's just quite simply gaslighting. On almost every page of the files that I've looked at, there's some investigative lead. And I think that what we're hoping for today is some answers from Pam Bondi, some answers as to how the files were released, what the procedural aspects of that, and who has been accountable for the cause, exposing survivors' names while protecting the names. And we get us through this. We think that that's what we're looking for survivors and what American people are looking for.
My colleague had a good question last. Do you think now that she's not with the DOJ anymore, maybe she'll be more forthcoming?
I don't know. I think that, we will have to wait and see how she behaves today. I would certainly hope that as a career attorney and as the former head of the Department of Justice for the United States of America, that she will have some kind of moral reckoning with her conscience and remember why she was put in the job that she was in and what her responsibilities in the job are to American people, and not necessarily particular administration. Liz Stein.
Thank you. Anybody else?
So there are so many investigative leads, and I think that is part of what is so incredibly frustrating, that we've seen these leads. We did a 24-hour filibuster recently where we read from the files, and there's so much information in there. And honestly, we're a bit tired of people saying name the names because we have so many times. So in this file, you want to check? Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so that was the victim that spoke out at the Pam Bondi committee to testify, about the Epstein files. So I don't know. I don't know what the outcome going to be of this. Probably most likely nothing. Nobody's going to
This
jail still.
this is up to the American people.
Yeah, I think it's out of it's out of their hands because nobody is going to prosecute anyone. Nobody's going to prosecute anyone. It's not happening.
To tell you the truth, Americans are starting to be fed up though. Just a lot of Americans got to be more educated about what's actually going
Yeah,
on and
right.
come out of that sleep state of, oh, this a Republican problem or a Democrat problem
Yeah,
or a
right.
male problem or a female problem or like that type of bullshit thinking. You see a lot of people still thinking that, oh, if Kamala, because she's a woman, if she would have been president, things would have been better. Or if a Democrat or Republican was president, things would be more like that mindset has to go first. Y'all have to realize, people have to realize that it don't matter if it's a Democrat, Republican, a male or female, black or white. All of them have the ability to be corrupt. And most of them are in shit like the Epstein files or tied to that Pizzagate shit. Majority of our politicians are into that. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's the corrupt people we had. We had run this country all these years is a bunch of corrupt individuals, and you could just see it on how everything is operating in America, just our industries and how our government operates. You can just tell that it's been ran by a bunch of corrupt individuals, no matter if it's Democrat or Republicans. They
It's
are
like they gotta
all
right.
corrupt.
It's like they gotta have some type of dirt on you for you to even be part of that upper echelon in society anyway. Because it's like a fraternity. They run it like a fraternity. You just don't let anybody around because you don't know who is who. So a person has to be basically they have to check out before they even become part of that society anyway. So it's like college. It's like they got to go through the whole hazing phase and everything. Like you just don't get put in position and just out of nowhere because you have some type of skill or they know you still have to go through some type of phase. They still have to have some type of dirt on you. They got to know who they dealing with. They got to know who they dealing with. If you're too much of a squeaky clean guy, then no, you're not getting them put in position.
Yeah, it is a fraternity though,
It's
bro.
a
It's not like
fraternity.
it. It is it
Well, you
because
know
you
what I
gotta
mean.
think about
Yeah,
it. The
right.
Skull and Bones, the Skull and Bones is a fraternity. The Freemasons is a fraternity. Like those shits, like these are actual fraternities, and these people are still, these are the people who rule the world. You're not even allowed to be in those certain fraternities if what I mean if your family lineage ain't from a certain generation. What I
Just
mean,
like with the
generational
mafia,
power.
right? You have to trace your family back to the old country for you to even become a made man. That's a fraternity. Yeah, that's some fraternity shit.
Right.
That's
So
what I'm
it's not
saying.
like it.
So
It's actually that. Yeah,
so
it
no
is that.
president, yeah, so no president is getting in there unless they tied to one of these families. They have to be part of the bloodline to be elected. So I don't. So no, it's not happening.
Why all
You
the
are
presidents are related, and all the presidents are related to the royal family over there in England and in the Netherlands. All the presidents is related to the Windsor family. All of the presidents are related blood cousins. Like it's crazy. Like it's like you have to be a part. And yep, Obama too, y'all. Obama too. Barry, my bad, Barry Santoro.
so all this Democrat Republican bullshit. Yeah, once the people stop buying into it, yeah, then we might start seeing the light of day when people stop buying into that shit.
Throw it out the window because that's what it is. It is what it is, y'all. These corrupt families, they've been ruling us for hundreds of years now. They've been dominating us through industries, through markets that we grew up believing in, and people still do. Markets that we grew up believing in. And the thing is, it's hard for us to see it because we were all born into it. All of us were all born into the illusion and into this rigged game that they making us play. So it's hard for people to break away from that and look at it for what it is. But once you do that, once you break away from it mentally and you see it for what it is, you know what I mean? And once enough people do that, the jig is up. Everything's gonna come falling down like a house of cards. And that's what's, and we're
That's
approaching
what's
that.
happening. Yeah,
We're
yeah,
getting there. We're getting there. We're not completely there yet because there's still a lot of brainwashed people walking the planet, but we're close. We're
yeah. You
close.
see it. Definitely see it.
Yes, we are close. And the thing is, you realize the corruption is literally from the government and the corporations in cahoots together.
Right.
There's like no difference from the big corporations and the government. They're one and the same.
Don't
Once
be
you
in fear. The ending is in there. Go ahead, my
right.
bad. I had to get that out real quick. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
that's
bro.
true. Yeah, don't be in fear. The ending is there. But yeah, once people see the illusion and realize the big corporation is the government is the big corporation. There's no separation of the two. Congress and Congress, the Supreme Courts, and BlackRock is the same damn organization. Let's just put it like that. And the central banks and all of that is literally the government. Once we realize that it's one big ass conflict of interest. It's always gonna be one, and it's always the interest is always against the people.
Yeah, right. Facts.
And it's in their best interest to keep us all divided. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They divide us with everything. All this distractions that they put out here, with the politics and the left wing and the right wing and the gender wars, the sexuality wars, the even people warring about what diet is the best. Oh my vegan diet is superior. Oh, my carnivore diet is superior. Oh, my omnivore diet. Like, they got us arguing over the most dumbest shit out here. Wow, they just continue just to dominate us because they are behind all the movements that people like to join and go against the other movement, this movement against that movement. These people are behind all of them. They secretly control all these movements because they must keep everyone divided. Just like when there's opposing war, when there's two sides warring against each other, they control both sides of the war and they make trillions of dollars off these wars. They make trillions of dollars off the war itself and just the rumor of the wars. And that's what Trump is doing right now.
Yeah, right. Because
Trump
rumors of
is
the war
making money off
manipulate
the
the stock
rumor of the
market.
war.
Yep.
Right.
That determines whether the stock market go up and down. Yeah.
Yep. And it's always been like that. War
Yeah,
always determines the stock market is just
Yeah.
there just to rob the people even more, like taxes. The stock market is not even worth regular the general public to even be playing the stock market. The only people who benefit from the stock market is people who are inside trading, and that's usually big corporate owners and government officials. They the only ones that really benefit off the stock
Right.
market. The regular Joe Schmo never benefits. You always get a rug pull. You always get the general public barely ever make money off the stock market. It's all a scam. It is all a scam. It is.
To say the truth, people succeed more when they invest in themselves and
Right.
they become an entrepreneur.
Right.
There's a lot more
Which they're trying
entrepreneurs
to
out here.
eliminate.
Right. There's a lot more.
Fascism destroys entrepreneurship.
Right.
Crony capitalism and fascism. And
Right.
that people have to understand the difference between capitalism and crony capitalism. Crony capitalism is what you see. It's not real capitalism. So you got people out here hating capitalism when capitalism itself isn't bad. It's the crony capitalism. It's when a government and the corporations come together and they make it appear like it's capitalism, but really it's not. It's just them tricking everything, like tricking the dice. Let's say it's one big game of capitalism and they rig it. They tricking the dice, they, maneuvering the cards to where the cards always turn in their favor. I mean, the laws, all the policies and laws that the government create only benefit the big corporations. And you gotta think about it. Anybody else who's playing that game with them, entrepreneurs, moms and pops businesses, the middle class, upper middle class, all you get is scams. That's all you get. You ain't gonna never come up. You're gonna get scammed for everything because the whole game is rigged. It's called crony capitalism because only their cronies basically make it off the capitalism. They only succeed. And that Trump is a prime example of crony capitalism. The way he's operating right now is a prime example of that. These are people that's just into inside trading, tricking the market. He's in there every day talking about, oh, we got good negotiations going on with Iran. Then the market goes up. He make money off of that. Then the next day he's saying Iran don't want to listen, so we got to bomb Iran. Then the market go down, and he makes money off of that. He knows what he's going to say, and he knows how the market is going to react. So he just makes a whole bunch of money off of it. That's called crony capital. And him and his buddies make a whole bunch of money off of that. That's crony capitalism. The game is rigged. And the thing is, we'll never find out because he can't be audited now. The IRS can't even audit him and see all the money he's making from the inside trading because him and Todd Blanche bullied the IRS to the point where they're not even going to be able to investigate all the money he's making off the inside trading, and all the money he made off of skimming off the top of the tariffs. All them tariffs he was charging, China and all of them. Him and his buddies was skimming off the top of all that money. They was making billions of dollars off those tariffs that Trump put in place. That's called crony capitalism. That's not real capitalism. That's not a free market. That's people just manipulating the market 100% to turn in their favor because he got the power to do it. So that's exactly what's been going on. And then all the money he made off the crypto market and that Trump coin, that type shit. He did a big rug pull. He had all these people believed in this Trump coin, and all these people invested thousands of dollars in Trump coin to the point it went up in millions of dollars. He made almost $1 billion off his Trump coin within a month.
And now now he's putting his face on a $250 bill.
And everybody else who put money into the Trump coin lost. They lost all their money.
And now
he did a big rug pull.
Now to celebrate that, he's putting his face on a $250 bill to celebrate all that.
Right. And the fact that he's not going to be investigated because him and Todd Blanche, aka the so-called Attorney General, bullied the IRS into not being able to audit them or their family members or their businesses.
Y'all gonna get y'all Trump $250 bill? Shit, it might be worth more than that if he died and shit. It might be a collectible right there. Yeah, this motherfucker trying to pass the so he can get his face on a $250 bill, bro.
He's disgusting, bro. He's disgusting. And Biden was no better.
They all disgusting.
Yep. Obama was no better. Clinton was no better. Bush was no better.
Right.
None of these people was no better.
He really think his alive ass gonna get a $250 bill with his face put on there. Really?
That's disgusting.
It's not gonna happen. It was no living presidents on any money. You got to be dead to get on a bill. You got to be a dead president to get on the bill. So is he sealing his own fate? Is he sealing his own fate by doing this shit? We might have to spin the block back on that. Is he sealing his fate by putting his face on a $250 bill, y'all?
Bro, I hope that don't get approved. I hope that don't.
Well, if it does, he's sealing his own fate. That means he got to get up out of here. Yeah, because
I hope. I truly that don't necessarily mean that you. I mean, I guess in America, because you gotta remember, Queen Elizabeth was on Canadian money and she was alive.
Yeah. But America.
I mean, but America, yeah.
Dead
all the
presidents
on there. Yup. Well, Benjamin Franklin technically wasn't a president, but right. He was dead all the time. He was on that $100 bill for sure.
Yep. Dead presidents only.
And Benjamin Franklin was basically the Bill Gates of that time.
Yeah, that time. Yeah, right. He was the tech guy at that time. Yep.
It's up to us Americans. Like it's up to the general public to do something about all this corruption. Our government is not going to do it. So all these women, all these victims on here crying about how they think things should go with these depositions and the truth coming out. The truth is going to come out if we leave it up to the federal government, because a lot of the federal government is tied into this Epstein stuff
Yeah.
themselves.
They really don't have
So
nobody really fight. The victims that really don't have nobody to fight for them because everybody in on it.
the American public have to do it.
Yeah, it will have to be the public. And the only way you can fight them is through financial.
Yeah, not buying
Financial.
into the system.
Yeah, you
But the
only can
thing is, you
beat
got
them
to become
financially.
self-sufficient. We got to
You
learn
got
how
to
to
become,
bring
yeah,
communities together, become self-sufficient.
right.
Because all right, we can easily
And that's
collapse the corporations and shit like that. But what we
yeah,
going to do after? What's the
yeah, that's the
solution?
challenge, right? That's the ultimate challenge. And then, you know what? And this is God's way of telling the people, listen, y'all got to know how to get along now. Y'all got to come
Yeah,
together. This
we ain't
this
gonna
is
have a
basically,
choice.
yeah, this is basically testing the people. Can you
Put your
actually
differences aside.
put all your differences aside and come together to actually beat out the beast? To beat this beast system, can y'all actually put your differences aside and come together? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so in
So
America, you know what that looked like? That looked like the good old white boys Hicks coming together with people like the Black Panther Party and
yeah,
shit
right,
like
right,
that coming
right.
together.
Nation of
Putting your
Islam coming together
yep,
with
yep.
with the KKK, some shit like that,
Right.
or
Nation of
whatever white,
Islam and the KKK
right,
coming
or
together. That's
right,
what
oh
that would
yeah,
look like.
yeah, because God looking over us all like you all my children. Put your differences aside to come together to beat out this beast. It's like a game, though. It's like a game. It's a game.
Well, that's yeah, it's like a puzzle game, and that's how
It's a
you
game.
defeat. That's how collectively. That's how we supposed to defeat this
A collective
puzzle.
conscious. Yeah, a
Yeah,
collective
collective. Yup,
conscious.
people coming together and putting their physical differences aside. Who cares if you're
Collective
black and I'm
consciousness.
white, or who cares if you're black and I'm white, or you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat,
Or
or
Muslim or
you're an
Christian.
Eagles
Right.
fan and I'm a Saints fan. Like who gives a shit?
Can you
Like we got
religiously
this
put your
wicked
difference to
government.
the side? You know what I mean? Can you religiously put your difference to the side? Can you put your sexes to the side of
Right,
all these different, categories and all this division? Can that actually be shattered? Can the division
right,
actually be shattered and people actually come together
right.
to beat out the wicked at the top?
Fact.
That's the real test.
That's the real
I
test
believe
right
that's
there.
why
We're
all this
being
shit
tested.
that's why I believe all this shit is coming out with the Epstein shit and all this. Yeah, it's a test. It's a test to the people, you know. Can y'all come together to really beat out the wicked at the top? This shit is a game.
I think
Shit
we're
is a game.
failing for right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Things
Definitely
are
felt.
getting a little bit better. You are starting to see more different communities integrate and realize who
Right,
the real problem is. And it's not really each other. Just we gotta stop feeding into the propaganda. But for the most part, people are still divided, man.
right. I mean, I think it's a gradual thing that's happening. It's not. I don't think that's something that happened overnight, but gradually, you know, things like that. Then once everything is formed together, it'll fall apart again for the next couple of hundred years or so. Catch, next thousands of years or so. We on a complete cycle. That's happened before in throughout history. That's happened before. So yeah, we on a constant cycle.
You know what needs to happen? The people of Palestine and the people of Israel need to come together and say F those governments. F the governments
Yeah,
of
the people.
Palestine and F the governments of Israel, and the people themselves need to put their differences aside and
Right.
come together against their wicked
That's the
governments.
real test. That's the real
That's the
test
real
right there.
shit right there. That's one of the realest things y'all gonna hear, and that's one of the realest, biggest tests there is. The people of Israel and the people of Palestine need to come together and team up against their wicked governments who's controlling them.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think that need to happen in all continents. The people that separated need to form together to, like I said, they need to the bottom needs to come together to actually, rule out the top. They just start all over again. Then you have some more corrupt people come out of, and it's a constant cycle. But yeah, because we don't have smoke with anybody. We don't have no smoke with. I don't matter what religion you are, what sect you are. We don't have
Right.
smoke with nobody.
Right.
Them brother, the people of Palestine and the people over there. It's just the general people. We have no problem with none of the people.
Mm-mm.
And usually the people, um, a lot of cultures intertwine with each other, at the lower level.
Right.
I know it's a lot of brainwashing and a lot of propaganda you got
There
to go
is.
through, but yeah, it happens. It definitely happens.
Yeah, I don't have just like I don't really like when people go around dissing Jews and saying all Jews are evil. I don't like that shit. I don't like anti-Semitism. I don't like that shit. I don't want to be around people who think like that. Because we know the real corruption that's coming from the so-called Jewish community is the Zionists.
Yeah,
It's the politicians who's making shit political. Because they not real Jews. They don't really practice Judaism. They practice getting that money. That's what the Zionists
right.
practice. Zionists practice getting that money and taking control over land. That's all Zionists care about.
I mean, it's
And they
assholes
flying
in
under
all
the
cultures.
right. It is assholes in all
It's
cultures.
so if you get treated on the basis of, respect me and I respect you ordeal. So I'm not gonna blame a disrespect from one person and blame it on a whole culture. Like, all
Right.
right, well, a Jew disrespect me, so now you know, uh, I gotta hold all Jewish people accountable for that
Right.
one person. Nah, it don't work that way.
Exactly.
Motherfucker, you disrespect me, then you gonna get the same, you're gonna get a reaction to that.
And being black, we'd be hypocrites because we hate when they blame the whole black community when some black people commit crime. Niggas
Right,
commit crimes. So they think all black people steal. They think
right,
all black people murder each other. Just cause you know what I'm saying? So that I hate that same stereotypical type of view. So why would I do that to another culture?
right,
And it's just being conscious of this shit and actually being principle, acting on it. Having principle and acting on this shit, like just being conscious and emotionally intelligent at the same time. That's all it takes.
right. Let me see. Yeah, there's no. I was trying to check to see was there any new development on this Bondi shit, but we might have to just spin a block back on y'all. If they drop the
Yep.
deposition video, we just gonna upload it. But we know if they have any highlights out of it, we definitely do some reactions. Come live and do some reactions out of that deposition. Them depositions be like 4 hours long and shit. 4 hours, 6 hours long.
Right.
But I'm definitely interested to see what the fuck type of questions they gonna ask her.
Right. And I mean, nobody's going to get arrested. Nobody's going to
No,
get
right,
investigated. It's
right.
all just a spectacle.
And
It's
if
just there
somebody
just to
do, we know
entertain
that's
the
the
people.
fall. Right, we know they're gonna put fall guys in place if
Oh
push
hell
came to
yeah.
shove. It's gonna be a lot of fall guys in place. They probably got people right now set up to take the fall.
As all guys, yup.
Well, they got people already set up to take the fall already. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check us out, man, at 90 Day Herbals. This video is sponsored by 90dayherbals.com. Make sure y'all check out our website. Sell natural herbal products. We still got the sale going on. Use BOGO Flower 26 during checkout for any of the smokables. Buy two, get one free. Whether you buying the CBD cigarettes, the pre-rolls, or the loose trim. So make sure you check that out. Got the pain balm on there as well. The lotion, the herbs, the herbal soaps and body oils on there. We got the sea moss gel on there. Just check us out, 90dayherbals.com. You can simply Google us, 90 Day Network LLC on Google, or type in 90 Day Herbals um, on Google as well. Yep, and check out all the other content that we got. whether Night and Day Talk Media. We got our own cartoon channel as well, Night and Day Cartoon Network on YouTube.
Right.
We have a crime channel, Night and Day True Crimes on YouTube.
Facts.
We have talk about all the black celebrities and all that. It's Night and Day Talk Media.
We also got Rumble.
Yeah, and Rumble too.
Yep,
Right.
you can also watch our content on rumble.com. Just type in Night and Day Network LLC on Rumble and we pop right up.
Right.
We on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So we on all the
all the platforms,
We
right?
on all the platforms. Night and Day Network on all platforms. So make sure y'all go check us out. We got different content for
we got
all
content
of our
for
platforms.
everything.
Yeah.
We got content for all types of different
Just check
things.
us out. You know what I mean? If you want to continue to support, just like and share our videos. You could donate. You can buy products from our Night and Day highest quality herbal products on the market right now, grown by the Amish in Lancaster County, PA. So they are farming. They are farming
community.
Yeah,
they are a whole farming community.
Yeah, so you already know their stuff is high quality. So they grow majority of our CBD for our CBD products. So that's how you're getting high quality CBD. And like JR said, is buy 2 get 1 free of all the smokables. We got flour on there. We got pre-rolls. We got CBD herbal cigarettes. So check us out, nightandDayHerbals.com. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can click the link that's in the bio, that's in the description or in the chat.
Yeah. On that note, we catch you on the next live stream. All right.
Peace.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day just slowed me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. Now I can clean my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. And this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. It feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
Comfort slows you down. Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.